Hello, hello, hello. We are here in our pretend time
In our pretend time. That's
again
right.
today.
Welcome, everybody. I'm Abby.
And I'm Becca.
We just got done with a pretty intense workout that lasted only like 15 minutes,
It was wild though.
which is another indicator of why time is not real because we burned like 100 calories in that 15 minutes,
Mm-hmm.
and my body feels really good,
Yeah,
and my spirit feels really good.
yeah.
And just like what we were talking about last week with Jessica, with squeezing in,
Mm-hmm.
right? Just a little bit of love for
Yeah.
ourselves throughout the day. Um, we almost talked ourselves out of it, okay? We almost did. We sat here chatting over coffee, like, okay, the first excuse was we really need to get our caffeine in before we approach this, right? And we're just chatting, and then finally we're like, okay, we gotta do it. It's just 9 minutes. We gotta do it.
9 minutes. We could totally do 9 minutes. I promise.
Yeah. But it really, once we got into it, it just felt so good to move our body, to stretch, and to release, the tension that we incur throughout the days, throughout the weeks.
And it was wild to me too, because you know me, I'm usually very active and I
Yes.
usually do yoga every day, or I'm hiking,
Yes.
or I'm always, or lifting. I'm always very active. But the amount of tightness that I got just in not being as active for 6 months, I was like, I feel like I'm like 115 years old right now. And I was like, okay, Abby, if this is how we feel after 9 minutes, and this is how the impact on my body after only 6 months, imagine if we did just 9 minutes every day for 6 months, how great we would feel.
Yes. And how good how limber and flexible our bodies would move, less pain.
Yeah. And then we did some digestive tapping.
That one threw me for a loop, you guys. Like, I know about tapping in terms of like emotion freedom technique. I use it a lot with my patients, with Becca. And it's really, there's 9 specific meridians in our body. Meridians are like these energy channels, right? For chi, our prana, our life force, to flow through, and they can get blocked up. And so this emotion freedom technique is these 9 specific meridians that will just access and poke at that vagal nerve. And that's going to reset our nervous system back into the rest and digest. So I knew about that.
Yeah.
But girl, when you told me to do the tapping, and I do have inflammatory problems. I have IBS. So I wasn't super surprised, but I was a little surprised at how much it hurt. So Becca had me tapping right at the beginning of my digestive tract, and right away I just felt this immense like pain, and it was released. I didn't feel it, but then when I started tapping, it was released, and I could feel just something opening, almost, right? And then pretty soon she had me going down, down, down. I had an emotional release. So not only do I have this inflammation that's being stored here, probably because of our diet, right? My diet. And the 3 cups of coffee I had with nothing in my belly today, but we're not judging.
Good choices.
But that, did illuminate to me I should make better choices, because this is a part of my process. I do have an inflammatory disease, and I do need to care more deeply for this beautiful vessel that I've been given. So I can continue on my path.
And so maybe like 1 cup of coffee instead of 3, right? Like we always, I think that's another part of it, is like, it's like I said when we were doing it, like, when you were like, we have to do this till we're 90. And I'm like, yeah, that's what always stops me from having good continuity, is because my ADD brain wants to go so far ahead. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to do this every day at the same time for like the next 50 fucking years. And then I'm like, right? But if we just took it in smaller bites instead of trying to make big sweeping changes, like, okay, if your diet is super trash, like, maybe just take one thing and be like, you know what? I know every time I eat that, it makes me feel really icky.
Yeah.
I'll just not consume that thing.
Like the fried food I had last night. I did get a salad, harm reduction, but before that, I really wanted these Fiesta poppers. I was at
Oh my
Top
God.
Shelf, and I was like, yeah, the red pepper is a no-no for my belly. The deep fry is a no-no.
You've seen me after
know.
I eat deep fried things.
I know.
Mine is really bad. Like, I look literally 7 months pregnant if I eat certain foods.
And that's
It's
not
bad.
normal. That's not normal, even though we think sometimes we just kind of like it passes us.
It's so painful.
It's not normal, and it's a really big message our body's trying to give us, but we ignore it.
Yeah, we're not listening to the wisdom of the body, and the body is the vessel for our spirit.
And I do think, it
has so much information for us. Keep going.
No,
Sorry.
it does. Before we get on another track, I have an idea for our neurodivergent brains.
Ooh.
Right? Like, I can see, like, you looking at working out the same thing every day, like that being monotonous, or like Groundhog's Day movie kind of vibe.
That's what I pictured. I love that movie too.
And that is like a slow death for us neurodivergent people. Okay, we need flavor.
Look, I like
diversity,
excitement and spontaneity.
We do. And so because there's so many ways to like care for our body and cleanse our body and move our body, you don't have to do that every day. We can dance one day. We can go for a stinking hike when it's not
sideways snow
like that.
Yeah.
So I think mixing it up and trying to make it fun instead of a chore might be helpful for all of us.
Well, and here's the thing, like, it should be depending on your goal, right? You should actually do the same set up basically for at least like 6 to 8 weeks.
So you can
because the body moves differently than our supercomputer does, right? And so it needs time, right, to kind of like lean into it and get the most benefit out of it. But that doesn't mean like it needs to be some long, hour-long workout either. It could be the same 3 lifting movements, right? And you're just progressively doing them, and then you go for a walk in this place, or you do a silly dance party over here, or whatever the case may be, right?
But creating like a repetition so that our neural pathways can connect there and actually want to seek that for a dopamine release.
Right. Because the purpose of doing a consistent pattern with our exercise is about the brain-body connection and actually really connecting with the body through the brain.
Let's talk about our body a little bit more, because I just finished reading the Circadian Code. It's a pretty cool book. It's the second time I ran through it, and it's because like I've been waking up kind of just feeling like, with the winter and not having like, I have a lot of lethargy lately, so I was like, I'm gonna reread this book. And one of the main things that I think I take from that book is within our circadian rhythm, it regulates the homeostasis of all of our other rhythms, right? And so like when we think about, our sleep schedule.
Oh my God, I was just talking to somebody about this yesterday.
See, like it's in the ethers, okay?
Okay, yeah.
So like
keep going.
I think we're all trying to kind of like get ready for spring and reset our clock, so to speak. It's been kind of like in communication in a lot of different places that I've seen. But essentially within the circadian rhythm, the main thing I took away was I should try my best to get to bed around the same time and to wake up around the same time, because that's part of the circadian rhythm that's going to regulate the rest of my systems. Right.
Real quick, on that note, particularly, I was actually talking to somebody yesterday about this exact thing, and what I recommend to figure out what your circadian rhythm is when you first start to feel tired, even if it's like only 8 p.m. or something, and you get really tired, go to sleep then. Just do it. So that way, at first you might wake up in the middle of the night, but it's because you have actually trained yourself to force yourself to stay up. and then you have a hard time and you're sluggish in the morning. If we work with our own rhythm, yeah, we might go to sleep earlier, but it will like it'll self-adjust back to its original baseline pattern. And then it won't take you 2 or 3 hours in the morning to feel like you can do something.
Wake up or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you'll actually be working with your body and with your natural rhythm instead of against it. Keep going though.
No, this is good. Because that's exactly what I did. I started to pay attention to when I'm tired. And I do start to get tired around 9. And so I've been kind of having my goal to go to bed around 10 and to try to wake up around 6.
Yeah.
I personally don't need any more than 8. I'll get more tired throughout the day if I have more than that.
Yeah, my sweet spot is 6. If I get more than 6, I'm kind of like, that was too much and now I'm tired forever.
Everybody's different, people. Okay, my husband, if he doesn't get 8 hours, he's toast. Okay, so we're all different.
Yeah.
And we have different rhythms. We just have to listen, like Becca said, to our body. But another thing that I took away, there's just one more thing, is our eating schedule.
Oh, definitely.
Yes, this one tripped me out.
Are we going to talk about fasting and stuff?
We should.
Keep going.
We should. So, like, okay, so one of the examples it gave in the book, it was like, okay, like, let's say you normally eat breakfast at 10 every morning, okay? And that's just your routine. Just one day, you're like, okay, I'm hungry at 8, so you're going to eat at 8. That is going to put all of your systems through overdrive. They're going to be like, what? I'm not ready to eat until 10. And then you're going to exhaust your systems, which is not very cozy. And then we can run into other issues, much like inflammation. And so I think like that's kind of my goal now, is just to get really simple and just to listen and try to come up with, this simple routine for eating and sleeping.
Instead of trying to have your mind dominate your body, listen to your body, because like it's telling you this stuff for a reason. It wants you to be in optimal condition. It wants to live a long time. It wants to feel good. Instead of having this like, well, I want to do this, and whatever the case may be, like the things that we tell ourselves mentally, it's better if we work with it instead of against it.
Yeah.
And when we're talking about like food intake and stuff like that, it's really interesting because, starting with the advent of fast food, we had food much more widely available to us and it wasn't very high quality. And then in the 90s, after the tobacco companies got basically had those big lawsuits, they bought our food systems, like major food systems like Nabisco, all these, right?
In the cannabis industry.
Yep. And so they literally, it was already designed to hit certain dopamine pathways. So that's why it's sugar, salt, right? Sugar, salt, fat. Okay. But they've upped it and it's like designed to be addictive. It's a drug. And a lot of times we don't think of food as a drug, but my question is it actually food? Because a lot of it isn't actually food. And if we look at the factory farming industry, if we look at highly processed food, and this goes for vegan things too, I think that's been leveraged a lot, and everything is like super processed, 8 million ingredients. Like, this is not actually good for you. We should have whole foods, right? And we should work with our body, okay? And, I just think we've become so addicted to eating and to food that we don't realize that our body isn't even designed to eat that frequently or that much, and definitely not that type of stuff.
No, most definitely not. And that's where the inflammation occurs. And one of the things that, is really important to Becca and I as therapists is the gut-brain axis. And if we have that inflammation going up,
because serotonin, that's where it's produced in your gut.
Around 80% of our serotonin is produced in our gut, not our brain.
Yeah.
But when the inflammation goes up, the cortisol goes right along with it, right? And so when we have that high cortisol, we're probably not going to have an appetite.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then we're really imbalancing a lot of systems.
And
so
we're super mineral deficient as well,
mm-hmm.
right? That's why we have to enrich our bread. We've bred out all the minerals that we've processed out everything.
Mm-hmm.
Then we put in trash minerals.
Yeah.
And our body can't even buy. It's not bioavailable, you guys.
Mm-hmm.
It's not available for our body to absorb.
Right.
And I know a lot of people like supplements,
mm-hmm.
but we have a lot of evidence that shows like you're not actually absorbing what you think you are from your supplements. I'm sure they help, obviously, but if it was granular, right,
mm-hmm.
or if it came from food
mm-hmm.
or other natural sources, you would absorb way more of those nutrients.
All of the science points to that. All of the science points to that. I'm not hating on people that take supplements. I'm really
Heck
not.
no, I take supplements. I take cholera, spirulina.
mm-hmm.
I take like 3 different supplements.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so this is not like
no.
you said.
No, but like, would it be better, like the spirulina, for example, that she takes in a supplement? Would it be better for her to have raw spirulina in her smoothie? Yes. But do we always have time? No.
Right.
So it's better that she has it in a supplement so she at least
can
get some of it in versus, oh, I have capacity today to make said smoothie.
Right.
Right. So
yeah, and I love, you know how much I love my
Hey, Becky.
Hi Becky. You know how much I love my smoothies.
I know.
I love the raw meal, and I like to add my moringa. I like to add my cholera and spirulina. I like to add, just a little bit of fruit. I'll do like a third a cup of frozen fruit. Mm-hmm. Nice big handful of spinach, and I like my cashew. I like making the homemade oat milk or cashew milk. Mm-hmm. Yeah, super good. Tasty.
We actually have kind of like a living experiment right now because Becca is undergoing kind of like this cleansing process right now as she's trying to repair her gut-brain axis. Mm-hmm. And really just heal the inflammation that was in her gut. So I kind of want to... Oh wait, I want to read what Becky says. The water that you use will help to absorb nutrients deeper as well.
Very true.
Yay,
yes.
I
Spring
love that
water
you added
is
that.
the best, or alkaline if you have like a fancy thing to do that for you.
And why is spring water the best?
Because it's living water.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, we love that. There's actually a really cool documentary. I don't know if any of you guys have Gaia or if you can get a hold of this documentary, but it's all about water and the ways that which we force it to move now, and very like irregular, and
it holds memory of that.
Yes, and it breaks down. It breaks it down to the point where it does come out of our faucet, it's not alive anymore.
Yeah.
And so spring water, yes, definitely. And thank you, Becky, for adding that, because that's so much of what we put in. Overall, we just shouldn't eat a lot of dead things, to be perfectly honest. Yes.
But please, you were talking about the reset or whatever.
So. Yes, the reset. I got a little sidetracked.
No, that's fine. I love sidetracks.
Yes, me too. So I really want... I'm curious. I would like you, Becca, just to describe. I know you're just like fresh into it. It's been like, what, a week?
2.
Okay, 2. So like, I want to know so far in the 2 weeks the barriers that you've experienced and how maybe you've overcome them.
Okay.
And maybe tell us like what differences, even if they're subtle, your body, your mind, your spirit is feeling with this 2-week cleanse and transition.
Okay. Well, my primary goal is to reduce inflammation and release like built up water.
All the bloating that you were feeling? The bloating
that I was getting, and tightness in the joint. I could tell I'm super inflamed in my joints. I love being flexible, and I'm like, feel like I'm creaky. So like that's stiff. Very stiff. So that was not great. And just like brain foggy, which I'm usually super energized. So I knew I had to do something. So what I've noticed as far as barriers is that we really do have, from society and stuff, not like the companies that make the food. It is very addictive. So at first it can be really challenging. So the first challenge is breaking the addiction, knowing that it's an addictive thing.
Right.
And shifting our mindset from, oh my gosh, I need to eat, it's been 2 hours, or whatever the case may be,
Mhm.
to, what do I actually need to fuel my body, if anything?
I
Because
really
our
like
body's a
that.
machine, right? And is this real food? So that's what I would
Right.
ask, right? So because I love food and I love to cook, and like I'm really big
Big
on
foodie.
like big foodie. I'm a huge
Yeah.
foodie, you guys. I am not like a restrictive eater at all.
Mm-mm.
Like I stay away from grains and breads because my gut hates them, but like I eat a lot of things. I love to cook,
Yeah.
but I like healthy stuff too.
What do you think was like one of your main food addictions that was the loudest during the first couple days of starting this?
So I don't even like sweets, and this is what indicated to me that this was a broader issue with all of us have parasites. And
Mm-hmm.
so parasite and inflammation.
Mm-hmm.
And that is I was craving sugar, and you know me, I don't even have sugar in my house.
You're a savory girl.
I don't even eat sweet stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this is yeah, So I was like, I need to fast immediately. And I needed to like get the inflammation down. So I used ginger, turmeric, clove, and lemon and just boiled it, strained it, and I was drinking that morning, evening, really good anti-inflammatory, super cheap.
Mm-hmm. Easy to make.
Very easy to make.
I'm gonna try it today after what I experienced.
And I
with
did
the
that
tapping.
instead of my coffee in the morning.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like that.
And then I whipped up a little tea blend. I like to make my own tea.
Mm-hmm.
I love Karen's teas too.
Oh my goodness, you
they're
guys.
great, and they're for sale here, by the way.
Karen. No, seriously.
They're so good.
Segway, Karen makes the best tea, and she sells it here. She has like 6 different ones right now that she's selling. And she has one that's chaotic goddess.
Yeah,
green tea.
she made just for us.
Yeah, and it's
you can only get it here.
It's fabulous. I have pretty much every one, and I drink it a lot, especially when for this winter the lemon soother, it just coats your throat.
Nice.
And it's natural instead of medicine. But yes,
so
please
I
go
started
on.
making a tea with, ashwagandha, and then I had some hibiscus, rose. I did mugwort, or not mugwort. I did, because I'm a smoker. So then I did mullein and lemon balm and a little bit of peppermint. And so I make a big, my French press. Make a big French press of it, and I was just doing that. And so I did, 72-hour fast. And, again, what did I crave after I got off the fast? Fried stuff. And I was like, oh shit, okay. So I need to do another round. And so, so I did that. So my biggest challenges, interestingly, this time, which I didn't have when I do my fasting, I don't have that. So I knew I had gotten myself way out of whack by not doing my regular fasting like I usually do over the last 6 months. And I was like, I'm going to have to go pretty consistent and hard this time. And so that I'd say my biggest challenge was the sugar and the fried stuff. So sugar and fat.
Yep.
Okay. And so when you crave sugar, you actually have a mineral deficiency. So I was like, all right, we need the salt water.
Magnesium.
And the magnesium. Yep. So, yeah. Anyway, that was my biggest thing.
How are your craving sugar, or your sugar cravings now?
I don't want it at all.
Weeks?
No, none.
How many days do you think it took till you weren't craving that sugar?
I'd say 5 days.
All right. Okay.
Because I didn't really crave it after the first 3-day fast.
Yeah.
And like I said, I craved like the fried stuff. But the licorice and my daughter's candy was looking mighty good. And I don't even eat candy.
Interesting.
So I would say 5 days.
Okay.
Because then like halfway through the second 3-day fast, I was like, I can't believe I wanted that. It's so weird.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Let's see what we got. Come get your Kangen from me, ladies. What's Kangen?
it's a countertop thing that you can ionize your water.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, you
You're
can
gonna have
choose the
to tell
pH
us
and
about
everything.
that a little bit. That's interesting. And Becky says, same here, Becca.
Let's go.
Get pancakes, Kristen. You're so
Oh,
naughty. I love it.
I
And
can't.
pancakes
I
do sound
can't
fabulous.
even do pancakes. Can't eat them.
Yeah, Becca can't right now, but I love where your head's at, Kristen. I will go get pancakes with you.
I know it was not my lucidity. This was just a different little blend I whipped up.
You have a different tea that
I've
is
been
called
making,
lucidity.
yeah. So I had a blend that I started making, I don't know, like 4 years ago or something. And it helps with like lucid states, and it's a big heart
Yes.
opener, and it boosts immunity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
We love that.
yeah. So that's my lucidity blend. I couldn't tell you everything that's in it right now because I haven't made it in a while, but yeah.
Very interesting. I love that.
Thanks.
Yeah, it's gonna be really fun that next week because we're gonna be having Cindy, right?
Yep.
And Cindy's a holistic health practitioner, and everything that we've been talking about today is going to segue really nicely into next week.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, because she's just really informative about, just whole foods and natural things that we can put in our body to support our well being and reduce that inflammation. And she's given me a lot of tips just like you, too. So it'll be fun to chat next week about that as
Absolutely.
well. Yeah.
You had asked about challenges, but there was something else, and now I can't remember what the other question
So
was.
you told us about your barriers and your challenges. That's what I was really curious about.
Okay.
What else did I ask?
And interestingly, I didn't get. I'm not. Everybody thinks if you fast, you get really hungry, and you don't.
No, I understand. I actually had that same belief. Like I really thought I was gonna be super hungry. And one of the first times I tried fasting with Becca, we did it with an electrolyte juice with fresh watermelon and lime and salt. Was there anything else?
Nope.
Just that. And drinking that throughout the day was honestly enjoyable. It refreshed me and it gave me energy. It filled my belly. I was never ever hungry, and I felt like I said, like vitality.
Yeah.
So I think what you're bringing up with it not really being that difficult with appetite. It makes sense to me when you're using the right things.
Yeah. You have to have mineral support.
Yeah.
To support, and you typically when I fast, I don't do the watermelon lime salt. I do water with salt and potassium and baking soda.
Yes.
And that's it.
But you're still getting all of your nutrients you need to stay hydrated and to keep your organs working really well.
And prevent muscle loss.
Ooh, I didn't know about that.
Yeah, we don't want muscle loss.
No.
We just want we want the body to have what it needs to do its internal repair.
Yeah.
To increase white blood cell count, to increase human growth hormone, and boost our immunity. Because when we fast, our body goes into repair mode and gets rid of all the bad cells. Okay? Yes. We want the bad cells gone.
And we want to stop feeding them.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, the first time I came across that, I had like a expansion, right, in my mind. And I was like, oh my goodness, this just logically makes so much sense. There's all these ancient practices that have historically practiced fasting to heal themselves and to heal others. And I'm not going to negate it. It's definitely something that's extremely beneficial, and they wouldn't have been doing it for thousands of years if it wasn't. So
yeah,
I think it's just a difference of Western Eastern medicine that we run into over here in the U.S. There's just such a disconnect from ancient practices that really truly healed us. Like even the founder of medicine, Hippocrates, he has a quote.
Let food be your medicine.
Hello. So why, in this westernized culture, have we ignored the founder of medicine?
Well, what's super interesting is that even in the Western medical model, say you're super, super sick and you're in the hospital and they can't fix it, like they're like out of options, guess what they do? They just put you on saline IV and step back.
Mm-hmm.
You know why?
Hmm.
Because then your body heals itself.
To try to cleanse what's in there,
right?
so to
Because
speak.
they make you fast. That's what they do. You fast, and you
Yeah.
get over the hump. It's very interesting.
I mean, it's just hidden in plain sight, so to speak. I
Healthy
guess.
pancakes, banana and egg with blueberries and pure maple syrup. Ooh, that would be
Shandy.
delicious.
Uh-huh.
I wish I liked banana. I wonder if it's
I
super
love
banana
bananas.
tasting. That's a really great
Bananas.
idea. Sounds awesome.
Thank you so much, Shandy, because
Oh,
you know
yeah.
I'm gluten-free and I shouldn't be eating them pancakes anyhow, so this will help me.
Oh, yeah, you don't want to overdo the salt. You only want, in 1 liter of water, you only want a 1/4 teaspoon of pink Himalayan salt and a 1/4 teaspoon of Epsom salt, 1/2 teaspoon of potassium, okay, and a 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. You do not want a lot of salt. No. Do not overdo the salt.
Yeah, Shandy, I love your message here because it's like you're very much a go-getter and you're going to go find, what it is you need to help yourself. And you're like, yep, learn things the hard way. I love you, girl.
Sometimes it's the best way, though.
Yeah, but now, and you're knowledgeable. And that's the beauty,
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah, that's a cool recipe. I'm going to have to remember that.
I have a whole,
Bananas and eggs.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if you could do something different than banana, though.
You're like, I don't like banana.
I just really don't like
Shandy,
banana.
do you have any other option than banana?
Do you have something else besides banana? Like, I don't know, can you do it with like cottage cheese or something?
What about potato pancakes? Potatoes aren't gluten. Potatoes have nutrients in them. Potatoes have magnesium or potassium.
Mm-hmm. That's true. I wonder. Do you have anything else?
Love you too.
I wonder about that though. Maybe I should just bite the bullet and choke down a banana.
Hey, Jack Johnson, make a banana pancake. Yeah, there's a thing to it. I'm gonna try it.
Sounds delicious. That salt blend has seriously served so well for me when I fasted. Yeah. That's what you're supposed to use when you fast. You're not supposed to just have plain water.
I was literally a year ago old when Shandy actually was like, you have to have sodium in your diet to be hydrated because that's what carries the water to the organs. And I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're right. I love that.
Oh, thank you, Shandy. Okay, I'll try it then if it's not super banana-y. And you're welcome, Becky, the whole protocol. Yeah, so I do have a whole protocol, fasting reset protocol. I mean, I have in a document with exercises if you choose to include more of your body in it. I have a whole thing.
Well, we have something in the works with Cindy, who you guys are going to meet next week. And Becca and I and Cindy are going to put together a group class where we're addressing our gut-brain axis. We're addressing things like, this protocol that Becca has created through years of research and probably trying things the hard way like Shandy, right, and learning. But yeah, Becca's pretty knowledgeable about this kind of thing, and so is Cindy.
Cindy knows a lot.
Yeah, and I have a certification in gut-brain access too, so like I don't know a lot, but I have some knowledge there, and it's so important that we spread this kind of knowledge with each other, and even the community spreading knowledge with us. Like I shared.
When we have a symbiotic relationship and we're communicating in a group setting, we can learn so much more. So I'm really excited for this group class that we're going to be offering, and because we're doing mindfulness with it, it is covered by insurance.
It is.
Or you can pay cash, but yeah,
definitely. Okay, what are we at?
Solar plexus healing. Yes, that's what you were feeling.
Oh my gosh.
When you were doing it.
Becky, you're such an intuitive goddess. I love you. So I did this. This is crazy, you guys. So I went on, I don't know what I was on, but this Luminate app came on. Sacral as well. Yes. Yes.
Tell the thing with the do it. They need to hear about this.
Okay, so this app's called Luminate, and I download it, and it has kind of like you turn your phone around so you get the flash, and it kind of like pulsates the flash in different rhythms while kind of giving you a guided
Have your
into a
eyes closed.
meditation. Yes, it will direct you. It's a very safe app. It makes you, look at your health ailments too before signing up for this. But listen, I started it, went right in to visual. And what did I see in my vision but two separate experiences of being just punctured right here in that solar plexus. So that is something that's happening definitely within my own lived experience, and then was validated when I'm doing that tapping earlier on with Becca. So that's, something that is coming up for a lot of us, is healing these lower body chakras, because we do need a lot of grounding, and there's things that are kind of getting in the way of that.
Well, and typically women have overdeveloped upper chakras because we have a lot of root healing or root wounding to heal.
Yeah.
So we might be a little overdeveloped here.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it can be really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
To work on the lower chakras.
And many of us have been isolating indoors with this winter that we've had. And it's beautiful. It's gorgeous. Can't get myself to go out in it though. So I can't wait for spring. I have been dancing for grounding. There's other things than just putting our bare feet on the earth that we can do. Wow, Becky says. Yes, girl, try the Luminate app. It was wild. It was wild. It gave me a whole bunch of messaging and validation and instruction.
You went into trance like almost immediately, didn't you?
And usually my process, I took Becca's meditation class. Please, everybody take it. It's fabulous. It is up to my shadow work game and my ability to be both lucid and conscious for more consistency than I have in the past. But like, I because of that meditation class, I learned that my process is I dip into body first, and I do have chronic pain, so it's a lot of getting stuck on some of those feels. And then once I ride the edge, because Becca taught me how to do that, then I can see the visual, then I can hear, right, messaging. But with this app, I skipped body channel, and I was like, visual, and I'm like, ooh, you guys weren't kidding. Do you feel past lives have a play in this stuff too?
Well,
definitely, my girl.
100%. Yes. Yes, because we don't leave the information behind. It's part of us, right? We take it with us, and we could have a lot of stuff that we have to release from multiple lifetimes, right? And generationally in our bloodline too.
Oh my gosh.
There's a lot to this. This is a whole different conversation, actually, Becky.
I love it.
Yeah, we should totally talk about this if it ever comes up again.
No, I will say, like, just to kind of answer that in a very simple and quick way, let's look at experiences. Let's do an example. I had somebody talk to me about recently about their fear of water. They had never had a bad experience around water. They never witnessed nothing around water that was bad. But deep down in their spirit, in their core, they cannot bring themselves to go near the water. I'm sorry, but that's the past life experience, and we're holding on to it, right? And so very much so do we carry, layered experiences with us, especially if they were traumatic. And then it can perpetuate in this life and continue until we can really heal that. That's why I really love going to, like, my friend Heather, that's a medium from Backwoods Medium, Mandy, our medium that we have here, Crystal. Crystal getting the QHHT in her light language sessions.
Oh man, she pulls so much out. She's just fabulous.
Yeah, and then but then we become aware of these past lives, and we're like, oh my goodness. And then we can start to pull that thread, right, and release the trauma, and then it stops becoming a pattern in our life today.
Absolutely.
Oh, we got another pancake. You can make pancakes with cottage cheese,
oats and eggs. Okay, so that's my jam right there. I would eat that.
You could do that.
I would eat that.
I would do them both. Yes.
I might I think I'll try the banana one just in case. Sounds sweet though.
Thank you. I love
Thank
that.
you so much. I think I'll try both of those recipes. I really appreciate that, Shandy. Thank you. I think we need to wrap up for today, though, because I have somebody in literally 1 minute.
Yeah.
So we love you guys. Thank you for joining us on Light the Heart this week. And we will have Cindy with us next week. So I'm really excited to see what kind of things come up in that conversation. She's fabulous.
She is. Thank you guys. We love you. Have a blessed rest of your week. QHHT is so fantastic. I'd love a session with Crystal. Yes, girl.
You need to get one.
Sometimes she does giveaways too, Becky. So go on her page and just kind of follow it. She'll throw giveaways once in a while on there if you like look at the videos and comment. So like peep it. I love how you're still talking about pancakes. Kristen, yes. Like pancakes, you brought up a good. Love you.
Love you.
Mwah.
Have the best day, guys.
Bye.